What is up? Welcome to the live stream. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you're having a fantastic day. So excited to be with you today. I love doing these. As I've said in the past, I hope you guys enjoy these. And so today we are going to be talking about this. We're going to be talking about the number one reason you're ruining your videos. And I assure you, this is a personal problem too. I saw this quite a bit at the beginning of doing YouTube and making videos, and I still see it pop up here and there. And so it's something that I'm always having to check myself and analyze. And that's why I really wanted to share it with you guys today. This number one reason you're ruining your videos. But before we get into that, if you don't know who I am, hi, my name is Katie, and I run this channel where we talk all about how to be a more powerful storyteller and how to be a more effective communicator. And we do this all through video. I'm a big believer in video. I've seen it work in so many powerful ways, and that's why I'm so very passionate about it. I think that everyone should be using video, including you. So if this is something, if the topic of this channel is something that you'd be interested in, then check more of my content out, hit that subscribe button down below, just kind of roam about and see what you can find on this channel that would be helpful for you. I hope you can find some stuff. Hey, if you're looking for specific things or specific types of things on this channel, we do product reviews, we do advice, how-tos for communication and public speaking, as well as motivational content to get you going. All of that on this channel, Katie Stowe. I'm so just tremendously blessed to be doing this channel. A lot of people have very mixed feelings towards YouTube, and is it a job? Is it not a job? Is it a hobby? And honestly, it's very different things to different people. But for me, I'm very serious about this YouTube channel. I'm very serious about making it something that's helpful for you guys and effective for your life, things that you can actually use in your life, in your storytelling, in your communicating, all of those things. All right, so super excited about today's topic because I think there's a lot here that maybe a lot of people don't think about. I'm super excited to be sharing this stuff with you guys today. I want to jump right into why, okay? Why? The number one reason you're ruining your videos. What is this number one reason? That's that's why you're here, right? The number one reason why you are ruining your videos. I kind of started this video that in the description below, I kind of asked the question, like, do you feel exhausted after you make a video? Do you feel like you're never happy with how your videos turn out? Are you frustrated that your videos aren't as good as you wanted them to be? And this is something that we all deal with. I dealt with this the first several months of my YouTube channel constantly. And then still now and then I post something and I'm just not happy with it. I'm just not satisfied with it. And it kind of just ruins the vibe for me. And instead of just being like, you know what, put this up. You did the best you could. Just do it. It really bugs me. It really bothers me. And so if you're experiencing this, then this video, this topic is perfect for you. And I think it's very important to be analyzing ourselves and like, what's going on? What are we actually doing? What are we doing wrong? What's in our head? What are all these things going on? So let's jump right into it. The number one reason you're ruining your videos. There it is. Perfection. This is something that I deal with constantly. I'm not really a perfectionist, but I like to do things well. And so I know my potential. I know what I can do. I know what I can learn. And so on this channel, like, I spend a lot of time just perfecting and getting better. And perfecting itself is not bad. That's not what I'm saying at all. You know what? Perfecting is a process. But when we're expecting the end result and we're not enjoying or learning from the process to that point, then we're not actually going to be learning anything. We're only going to be expecting perfection. And yet, it's really the process that's more important than the actual product. Okay. This is something that I dealt with a lot my first few months on YouTube. And I did a lot of these things, which we're going to talk about. I did a lot of these things that really, I would say, are key symptoms of being over perfecting things, being overcritical of your content. There are three things that oftentimes rear their ugly head when perfection is your problem. And that is this. You're over perfecting your content. You are over scripting. You're over cutting. You're over coloring. All three of these things we're going to go through. We're going to talk about each one of these. Super excited to be doing this because honestly, like, these are so, so very important. And I think that, like, we all have to remind ourselves, we all have to be very, very vigilant, I would say, on our content, making sure that we're not over scripting, over cutting, over coloring. Hey, before we get into that, I know that there's a lot of you out there that do editing, make videos, but you're really struggling with just the process, right? Just how do you get better at editing? It's just this overwhelming thing that we all deal with. Even I have those times where I'm just like, I just don't want to deal with this. One of the best pieces of gear, one of the best tools that I have ever had is my EditorsKeys keyboard. And I'm going to show you this really quick. I'm going to pull up my Chrome tab. I want to show you their website because I think it's really helpful for people to actually see the product on the website instead of me like, here's a link, go see it. We're going to actually go take a look at it right now. So this is EditorsKeys. Let me see if I can get it. There we go. Okay, this is their website. That's their keyboard. Isn't it fancy? So they have keyboards for all types of programs, not just Adobe. I use Adobe, but they have it for Final Cut Pro. They have it. Let's go take a look instead of taking my word for it. They have like Adobe After Effects. That's amazing because Adobe After Effects is this overwhelming thing that lots of people, including myself, have a really hard time learning. They have Premiere. They have audio keyboards. They have video keyboards. Avid is a visual program, Cinema 4D keyboard, DaVinci. A lot of people use DaVinci. They have Final Cut Pro. They have a bunch of resources here. It's super, super awesome. They also have audio keyboards. So they have Adobe products, Ableton. You can read these. It's an amazing website, an amazing company, and they have all sorts of products, including recording equipment. And I'm actually using their microphone. It's honestly one of my favorite microphones. It is my favorite microphone to do this sort of thing. This is my EditorsKeys microphone, and I love this thing. Honestly, it's the best audio I've had in a situation like this where I want a very controlled sound. I want a sound from one specific source. And on top of that, it just plugs in USB. It's nothing crazy like my soundboard over here to my left. I have a big soundboard and I do a lot of crazy stuff because I can and I enjoy doing it. But for those of you out there that struggle with editing, struggle with the process, struggle with the audio, guys, this is a great resource, a great company. I have a link down below that you can go check out their website, go get some stuff, go take a look at their stuff. They have all of their socials out there. You can go take a look at reviews. I have a review on my channel. I should have linked that down below. I will do that after this live stream ends. Go take a look at them because they are going to be a great resource for you if you have problems editing. Okay. Even for me, little disclaimer, even for me who doesn't generally have trouble editing, it's an amazing resource. So I'm not trying to put people that have a problem editing in one box. Okay. All right. Let's get back to our topic. Okay. So we got these three signs, right? These three signs that we are over perfecting our content, over scripting, over cutting, and over coloring. So we're going to be talking about all three of these things. These are super, super important things to have a proper grasp on. So let's start with overscripting. This is probably the most important of all three, yet I would kind of, honestly, I feel like overcoloring is a big deal too. They're all important, guys. Okay. So let me get my, hi, here I am. So overscripting is something that I dealt with a lot at the beginning. Honestly, I dealt with all of these things, but particularly overscripting. And this may be a thing that you do as well. Some people underscript, so they don't write hardly anything for their videos. I did this for a couple videos on my channel because they just didn't need a lot of scripting. And yet I found that those videos didn't do as well because there wasn't a direct topic or a direction for the video. So some people don't write enough down. And for those people, you need to learn to write stuff down because your audience isn't going to be able to follow you if you can't follow yourself, okay? People aren't going to watch you if what you're saying is all over the place and you don't actually have a direction for your video. So that's underscripting. But overscripting is what we're talking about today. And overscripting is something that I can fall into very easily. I'm sure a lot of you deal with overscripting. Comment down below if you are in the live chat. Go comment down below and let me know what way you make your videos. How do you write them? Do you actually write everything down and then like outline it, then like make it more simplified? Or do you write an outline first and then write a little bit more in depth? I'd love to know what you do for your videos because I know so many people that do it totally different from me. But I tend to write the whole thing out. I write it as a script, okay? So that'd definitely be overscripting, guys. And then I simplify it into small sentences, very, very short sentences, bullet points for certain areas, or basically a direction that I'm going for my video. So right now, for this video, I have a bunch of bullet points, a bunch of hashes that like just show me where I'm headed. And that's really, really helpful for me because it gives me a direction without completely consuming my organicness, okay? The organicness of a video. Hope that makes sense. I don't know if organicness is a word. So overscripting is something that honestly at the beginning of creating videos and speaking in front of people, in front of a camera, it's okay. You know, it's better than underscripting. In fact, I would encourage you to write as much as you can down to spend good, ample time on the pre-production, okay? Because a lot of people spend a lot of time in the editing process of making videos, but I've learned over time that if I spend more time writing, researching, thinking, refining, then my content is going to be so much better than if I just focused on the edit and I didn't actually have a clear, precise direction for my video. So it's okay to write a little bit more, but as you're getting better at YouTube, as you're doing more videos, set a personal goal to just simplify your script a little bit more each time so that it's more like an outline than not, because that gives you flexibility and that gives you a sense of connection to your audience. Have you ever seen a presentation, a live presentation, or a video presentation where you can tell someone's literally just reading off a thing? Like I could do that over here. I could be like, all right, so the next topic we're talking, you know what I mean? Like I don't have eye contact with you. I don't have connection with you. So it's very easy to fall into that, particularly when you are over perfecting. Because remember, over perfecting is why this happens. Oftentimes it's why this happens, or bad habits. But it all kind of stems towards being like over analyzing, over perfecting your content because you're afraid of what would happen if you didn't have enough notes. The last live stream I did, I spent a lot of time like weeks before writing a script, but I didn't look at it really closely like the few days before, and I was so nervous. I was so nervous to do a live stream because I hadn't spent enough time with my content. So you can see how when you spend time with your content, then you can be more comfortable and more confident with your content, with your video, with how it looks, how it edits. All of those things are really, really helpful. So over scripting is a huge deal. And you know how like I really talk about content a lot on this channel. It used to be like video production, video production, video production. But at the end of the day, like content is king. And that is so, so very important to focus on, particularly when you're making content that you want other people to watch, because they're not going to watch it if it's boring or just doesn't have a clear direction. All right, let's move on. So we've got over scripting, which we talked about, and then we have over cutting. Now, over cutting is a technical thing, okay? But it's also equally as important because once you get past the content, once you say, okay, cool, I've got the content down, I've written a lot of content, I'm good with that, I'm confident with the content that I have. Oh wait, I made a mistake. Oh, I made another mistake. Okay, I'll just fix it in the edit, right? As you make mistakes in real life, like as you make mistakes while you're recording, there's kind of this mentality that like, oh, I can fix it in post. I can fix it in post, right? I have that mentality too. I'm like, I am a good editor. I can fix this in post. But here's what happens when we just trust the quality of our content and the quality of our speech in post. We have to over edit. We have to over cut. And cutting basically, I'm sure you've heard it on this channel. If you follow me on this channel, if you don't, hit subscribe button because you will hear a lot of references to other videos that I've done. And I will have all of those linked up on the cards above after this live stream is finished. So if you want to come check out this video after it is up and not live anymore, or if you just want to go take a look at my channel right now, I can't believe I just encouraged you to go take a look at my channel right now. I mean, after this live stream. Anyway, you will see a lot of references, but basically overcutting is a technical term. And when you cut, it's taking one clip, one single clip, and taking pieces out or cutting out pieces, you know, taking out the end, taking out the beginning, or actually taking slivers out of the inside of that piece of video. What happens is you get this kind of choppiness, okay? And that's fine. You know, we all cut a little bit here and there if we make a mistake or we mispronounce something and we have to repeat it. That's the beauty of video. It's not live. You can do it again. You can try again. But when we overcut, we create this disconnect with our audience. It doesn't really feel like we're talking. We're just a robot being like saying one or two words and then cutting and one or two words and then cutting. I learned something from an amazing YouTuber, and she is just incredible. I've worked with her on a video project, on a global video project that we put up, and we just landed our last episode last week. Go check that out. That's actually in the description down below. But Kath is her name, and she is an amazing speaker because she just hardly ever cuts. She just knows her content so well that she never has to cut. She never has to stop. That is such an amazing thing. And that's what I'm aspiring to do. I'm just so inspired by her and just her ability to speak so clearly and so concisely. And that's what we're striving to do here. That's what we're trying to get better at. And so again, these are not stop doing this. Like, this is not just, okay, we need to like just stop doing it. These are habit building things, okay? These are things that we need to work towards and we need to practice on every single time we do a video, we make a video. So we've got our over scripting, we've got our over cutting, and then third and lastly, we have our over coloring. Now, you may not be the type of person that even touches like exposure or saturation or your color wheels in your editing software. You may not have those features in your editing software. Most editing software have at least, most pieces of software for editing have some elements of exposure and contrast. You can adjust some of those things. So the brightness, the darkness, all of those things you can adjust. But when you get more advanced, and even in some more simpler editing software, you have what are called coloring wheels. And this is where you do what's called color grading. And I've talked about this on my channel before, but basically, color grading is just manipulating the color in your video. And I see a lot of people do this. It kind of went big after a few YouTubers really started doing it a ton. It kind of came over from the filmmaking world because almost everything in film is color graded. And now a lot of YouTubers, a lot of content creators will color grade their content. I do it as well. I do a little bit here and there. But when I first started YouTube, my color grades were so bad. While I talk about this, I want to show you guys one of my videos because it's beyond hilarious. Like, it's one of my first videos that I ever put out, and it was so bad because it was my first or second time actually even playing with color, and I watched a bunch of videos online, but that was all. Like, I never played with it, and I just threw it into like my first, second, third, fourth, fifth, 15th video, and just kind of kept on going. I wonder if I could find it. I should have planned this ahead of time and made sure. Okay, here it is. Okay. I hope it doesn't have like a ad or something. It probably will. It doesn't. Cool. Okay. So let me show you guys this really quick because this is really important. This kind of proves my point about color correcting and why this is so very important to do well. Okay. Here we go. Here we go. Okay. Look at this color grade, people. Like, I know this is silent, but like, oh my goodness, what? I look orange and my hair looks black. What did I do there? That's not even the worst one. Like, I'm trying to think. It's so bad. Like, honestly, it's terrible. Okay, I can go make fun of my content anytime I want, right? That's what overcoloring is. And really, the reason I did it was because I thought it looked cool. But there was also a part of me that was really insecure about like how light my skin was because I always have blotchy skin. Just like I'm such a light-skinned person, and so I'm always trying to make my skin look a little bit darker, particularly on video because it just washes me out and just the paneling back here washes me out. So I was really, really paranoid about how I looked and how I wanted my skin to look a little bit smoother and a little bit darker. So I started color grading my skin to look more orange and like more dark, and it was a mess. Don't color because you're insecure, okay? Don't do it. Don't do it. Let me get back to our slides. I I I put overcoloring in there because I think that a lot of people do it, and even if you don't do it, it's something to think about now because when you get to the point where you're like, "Oh, okay, I'm going to color grade or I'm going to color my content," even just a little bit of adjustment can make a big deal. So think about why you're overcoloring, why you're coloring at all. Like, if you want to do it, if you're like, why are you color grading at all? Is it an artistic decision or is it out of insecurity or nervousness or wanting your content to look perfect? So these are kind of the things that I think are super, super important to look at, to think about. These are the things that I have found to be a real problem in the world of perfectionism. We all want to perfect things. Come on, like models, all the girls running around like having the perfect bodies. We all want to look like that. There's a certain societal desire to be perfect, and whatever that is, whatever that definition looks like, perfectionism is a thing that we can all easily struggle with in different areas of our life. But video and our content creation needs to not be one of those things, okay? The thing I love so much about YouTube is how real people are, real, okay? There's a lot of fake people on YouTube, and yet there are few gems out there that are just showing their life and just showing who they are, and people love them for it. Some people hate them for it. But you know what? That doesn't matter. This kind of goes back to who cares, right? Who are the people in our life that we actually care about their opinion, and who are the people that we just don't care about? So, even further than perfectionism, I think where it goes super, super, super deep down to is insecurity, fear. You don't want people to see how you really are. You don't want people to see your blotchy skin. You don't want people to see, your space or how dirty it is. You don't want people to see you make a mistake. So you cut it out. You don't want people to see you, accidentally, like say something incorrectly, and so you overscript. I mean, all of these things have to do with each other 100%. These all are things that work together to create very artificial content. And so we have to be very intentional about the content we create. And we need to not ever feel like we are creating content to impress other people. That's a very common reason why people start YouTube. If that's why you're here, you need to change your reason why you're here, or you need to take a break. Because at the end of the day, if our goal is to impress people and to make ourselves look better, then that's for the wrong reason. That's not going to be a reason that's going to make you feel any better. In fact, it's going to make you feel stressed and anxious about the content you create, because you're constantly having to one up yourself. You're constantly having to do something better and better than everyone else in the world. And that's impossible. That's my rant, by the way. 100% that was a rant. So let's just run over these really quickly one more time. We've got our overscripting, writing too much down, overcutting, not being okay with mistakes, just being in there here and there, but overanalyzing your content, and then sacrificing the organicness of it by overcutting. And then you got your overcoloring, being insecure about how you look, or what color hair you have, or your blotchy skin, or just not having the right information or the right skill sets to use coloring the correct way. These are things that can ruin your videos in just matters of seconds. People will look at it and be like, no, this is not interesting. This doesn't have any direction. This is too cut up. It doesn't even have any personality to it, or it looks terrible. You can tell they're insecure about their space or how they look. Think about these three things, because I think that they're very helpful. They were very helpful to me when I started YouTube. I was just all over the place with how I created content, and I finally started to narrow it down a little bit and really focus on content instead of how it appears or how it looks, or taking out mistakes or things. That's why I do live streams, because it's helpful for me to communicate to you what I actually want to say, be precise and efficient. And it also helps me to make better videos, to make videos more efficiently, more effectively, and more successfully. Well, I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you want to see more like this, definitely hit the subscribe button. Wow, what did I say? Hit the subscribe button down below. And also, when you hit that subscribe button, there'll be a little bell that appears next to it. Hit that bell. That'll make sure that you get notifications whenever my videos come out. And right now, they're coming out twice a week. So I've got some super exciting stuff coming up that I'm very excited to be sharing with you all. So stay tuned for all of that. But until then, I will see you on the next video.